about that. We're live, baby. You feel alive?
I'm hurting. I am.
Does that make you feel alive?
I guess I'm feeling something. Are you ready?
Yeah. I just want to... Let me turn this down there.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, my name is Rhonda, and this is my handsome husband.
And I'm Andrew.
And we are 30 Till Forever. We are coming live right now on Facebook under 30 Till Forever, right?
Yeah, 30 Till Forever.
And on
her personal Instagram
my
page.
personal Instagram page, Rhonda Jackson.
Yeah.
So,
hey Jacob, how you doing, buddy? So,
can you pronounce that other name?
Vashtis. I can't see that one.
I don't know. I like the way it sounds.
But good evening, everybody. How you guys doing? I know last week we were supposed to go live and we didn't, and we just had we were going to be a little transparent about some things this evening, and hope that it'll be some light that can help you either now or maybe later down the road, but last week when we got ready to go live, we decided probably about a couple hours before we went live that about midday.
A couple of hours. It was
about midday.
I'm not exactly sure what time it was, but it was because I had to do an emergency doctor's visitation online, and they prescribed me some new medications that I did not know how they would have me acting.
Yeah, we did not know how she was going to react with the new medication the doctor put on, and we did not want to be live and have an adverse effect and freak y'all out if y'all seen something crazy, with a new medication. I don't know, because you know how some people get,
oh my goodness, what's wrong with her?
Exactly. Wow. So we didn't want you guys to experience that. So if anything crazy had happened, with a new medication.
Which I don't think it would have.
I don't.
Well, once I took it, it was
her body had to go through an adjustment period.
Yeah, it was the first couple of days. It was kind of weird.
Right.
It's not a medication that I would like to stay on, but
right.
Man, does it take the pain away.
So that's the reason why we did not go live last week, which led us into our discussion. Hey, Mama Cindy, how are you and my favorite professor doing? But yeah, we want to talk about some things tonight. Some stuff that really struck us as we went through the whole thing with the adjustments of her medication and everything, and some feelings that came up from all of that. We honestly, when you say your vows when you get married, and this for people who who might be looking to get married, your vows are serious, and you're saying them in the presence of your family, friends, and God, and vows are very serious. And one of the things in a vow is to death do you part, in sickness and in health. And my wife and I was talking about that when she was experiencing what she was experiencing. And she asked, she kept saying, I'm glad that you love me the way that you do. And can you tell them, what you were feeling at the time about that?
No.
Why not?
Okay, so it wasn't I was saying that I was glad that he loved me the way that he do. And I was also apologizing because even though when you are at the altar and you're saying your vows, you say till death do us part in sickness and in health. But I have seen so many relationships break up because one person in the relationship gets sick, right, and the other person can't handle it. So they end up slowly drifting apart, and then the person that feel like they can't handle it just end up walking away. So, with everything that I've been through, we've been going through, me having different things for a very long time. Since my early 20s, I found out that I had arthritis, degenerative arthritis, and come to find out that's not at all what it was. But he's always had to deal with me, 27, 28, using a cane, being extremely overweight. I mean, it's all kinds of the thing that we thought was eczema, thing that we thought was athlete. I mean, it was all sorts of stuff that, being misdiagnosed for so many years. And finally, at 49, 50, I get diagnosed with lupus.
Yeah.
And then once the diagnosis comes with lupus, it's like, well, that explains this, and this explains this. And then when I thought it was athlete feet, and it was Raynaud phenomenon, and all this other crazy stuff. But the biggest thing was, is the heater on in here?
No, it's the.
Oh my God, it's so hot in here.
Remember I told you that during this time at the front of the house,
Ooh.
because the sun is shining directly on the front of the house right here.
Okay,
So
I'm sorry about that, yeah. But I'm also going through menopause. So with everything else that is going on, I look at him, and to me sometimes he looks sad, and I don't like him looking sad. I be thinking that, okay, don't look at me like that. I mean, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. Please don't be feeling sorry for me. And then I'll be like, I am so sorry you having to go through this, because it's a lot to deal with, especially when you see your wife who was going 5 and 6 miles a day now can barely do a mile, in anything, and always in constant pain. So,
right.
It's just, I mean, in relationships, it's a hard thing to deal with, and I never thought that I would be the one on the end that had to be the one that's being taken care of or needing someone to,
Well, look, I look at it like this. We all go through changes. Relationships go through changes. Nothing ever stays the same.
You're absolutely right.
We get older. We gain weight. We lose hair. I'm just, stuff happens. Life happens. Things happen. No, the way that you looked and you felt on your wedding day, you don't look and feel that way 30 years down the line.
On my wedding day.
30 years down the line, you don't look and feel like that anymore. You're not as young and vibrant anymore. And stuff happens.
Stuff happens.
Bodies break down. Now, when our bodies start to, because think about us. We done went through.
We ain't finna say bodies break down.
No.
Our bodies change when we go through stuff.
No, but I'm saying we
change.
We change. We gain weight, lost weight, gain weight, lost weight. But it happens. And through all the changes, do you still love your spouse the same way you did when you married them? That's what it all boils down to.
No.
You don't. Oh, you love me more? You better say it. No, but seriously.
I'm serious. I love you more than I did when I first married you.
But it's just, thank you. I appreciate that.
The thing is that no matter what you're going through, you do promise to be there through sickness and in health, till death do you part.
Right.
And it takes a lot. I'm watching my husband watch me go through the things that I go through. And I know it takes a lot, because I see it when I'm having a flare up and he can't do anything to stop my pain. It hurts him.
That's what hurts, is that I can't do anything. It's not that I feel sorry for my wife, that she's experiencing so many different things going on inside of her body right now.
Charles.
But it's not that she is going through this stuff. It's the fact that I can't do anything about it, being her husband.
And that makes me feel bad when I see the look in his face. And even though, I know that he's feeling bad because there's nothing that he can do about it. But it also tends to sometimes look like I feel bad because you are so pitiful. I know you said 1,000 times that's not what it is. But in all honesty, I feel bad for you because I'm so pitiful sometimes.
But you shouldn't feel that way.
But I feel like I need you so much, and it makes me... I mean, honestly, if anyone is in a position that have been in a position that I am in, I have moments. My doctor asked me this past week. She was like, "So, are you having any moments of depression, deep depression, or thoughts of suicide and all that?" And I'm on the other end, and I'm looking at the screen like, "What?" I mean, I get a little depressed, but it might last all of 5 minutes. Pain is pain. I am not thinking about hurting myself, though.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was just like, because, we can get you somebody to talk to, because you're going through a lot. You're dealing with a lot. And the amount of pain that you're in, people get to a point where they can't deal with that pain anymore. And then she was upset. She was like, and if you're ever going through that amount of pain again and you do not contact me, I'm going to have to come to you. Because when people be talking about pain management, I'm just like, really? Really? Why don't they just take a couple of aspirin and sit down somewhere? But, yeah, you can't just take aspirin
No.
and sit down. It does not work like that when it comes to pain with inflammation and everything. You can't walk, and your knees are so swollen till they don't even look like knees anymore, and your hands are swollen, and your feet are swollen, and your husband wants to rub you, and you don't want to be touched, and there's nothing that nobody else can do. And not only that, just also, hi Adam.
Hey Adam, how you doing, bud?
Seeing the look in my kids' eyes when they look at me too, all that stuff is just so.
But see, most people, I won't say most people, some people, when they, you'll hear people say, "I didn't sign up for this."
Right.
And they bounce.
Right, and they will bounce.
And they will leave. And that's not what, when you said your vows, you didn't take that part seriously enough. Is that, did I ever expect to have to do as much as I have to do for my wife? No. But do I want to do what I can for my wife? Yes. And I think that in every marriage, it should be that way. Stuff happens. Are you there to take care of your spouse when your spouse needs you? Because sooner or later, somewhere down the line, somebody's going to have to do something to take care of you. If my wife had not responded a year ago the way that she did when I got stung by the bees, I would be dead right now. That was 2 years ago now. Ooh, yeah. Still feel fresh. Sorry. but if she had not responded the way she did, I wouldn't be here right now. And she did what she could to take care of me during that time. Because quite honestly, I'm still traumatized from that.
Me too.
I swear I got PTSD because of it. Because I was traumatized so much from almost dying. But I needed my wife during that time. So that was her moment to take care of me at my worst. So things like that, life happens. Are you willing to deal with your life with your spouse, with all the ups, everybody loves the ups. But how about dealing with things when you're in the downs?
Right. It don't even have to be a physical illness that is taking you through the rough patches in your life, but it could just be, people have mental issues, people have addictions that they go through. And it don't have to be nothing like major, but I've seen relationships break up and end over some of the most trivial things. It's just like, I'm just not feeling you right now, so.
Right. There are times even, when my wife is going through a flare up, or when she's experiencing some things where, I'm looking at her and I know that I can't do anything, but it doesn't change the way that I feel about my wife. I still love you. And I don't think that people really focus on that. They always look at the negative part,
I think that how
many people that we through the years, just say, how many couples that we've met, they had their spouse, over the years after maybe having children or maybe vice versa with the husband, a weight gain, that they they put a demand on their spouse that's hard on their spouse to try to make because of a weight gain.
I've known a few couples.
Yeah,
like
we've
that.
known a few who've broken
Well,
up
just-
because of a weight gain, and for the life of me, you know, my thing is you're not gonna be the same in a couple of years. So why are you tripping about your spouse?
I mean, everybody should do everything that they can to maintain a healthy body. Yeah, I'm not saying
I
that
agree
it
with
has
that,
nothing
but-
to do with how much you weigh in my sight, because you can be healthy, you can be unhealthy and weigh 120 pounds.
Right.
You can be unhealthy, or you can be healthy weighing 300 pounds. Your heart can be great, no high blood pressure, no diabetes, nothing could be wrong with you except you got some extra pounds on you. And yes, people are always saying that's bad, but I've seen 300-pound people out there running miles around other folks. Because I know at my highest movement date, when I was going 6 miles a day, I could not run a straight 6 miles a day, but I was down on myself because I couldn't do it as fast as somebody else could do it. I did not know what my limitations were, but I was beating myself up because I had them.
Mm-hmm.
And until I found out why I couldn't ever build up the endurance to run faster than what I was going. You know, because I used to walk past old ladies, and they be walking past me in the park, and I'm breathing hard, and they just carried on the conversation. I'm like, what? How are they doing that? And it was because I did not know my limited lung capacity. So I couldn't breathe the way that they were breathing because of my limited lung capacity. So it's just like, and with everything else that be going on, you know, and then people look at like me and my husband, they're like, oh my goodness, y'all got such a good relationship. Y'all this, y'all that. I want my marriage to be like that. But you don't know what we've been through.
Yeah.
And what we're going through now.
Yeah, Charles says your presence is enough even though you can't do anything. And sometimes that is enough, knowing that somebody's there with you.
That's right.
You know, that they're sticking by you even at your worst.
Even at your worst.
They're there.
They're there. Even at your worst.
You know, I have this fear of going in hospitals, of me being in the hospital. I for the life of me, I'm like, don't put me in the hospital, you know. And if I end up there, I'm like, I got a list of people who I want to be around my bed pretty much 24/7 for my comfort. You on the list, babe, you know.
I don't want to be there.
but what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, you know, just like Charles is saying, you know, the presence of your loved one, just knowing they're there, it can change the mood or a situation in a heartbeat. Where you're not feeling so down on yourself now, you might get a little spark, a little spunk, you know, because hey, you know, they really love me. They're there for me. They're here with me going through this. Right. Remember, going through one of my wife's surgeries years ago, I was fortunate enough to have the time to take off work where I could be her nurse. So a sister or a grandmother or auntie didn't have to come, you know, because our kids were small at the time, to come stay with her.
They weren't small. They were young. But
they were young. Well, you know, they were young.
Yeah.
But my wife, after being in the house for about a week and a half or 2 weeks, I can't remember how. It was over a week, well over a week, and she got stir crazy, cabin fever. And when she got cabin fever, we had to get out the house, and I had to take her out the house, and we had to go for a drive.
Oh wow, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
that was 20 years.
And when we went for that drive, we ended up finding the current house that we're in right now. And I remember when we found the house, you know, because you can find the beauty in the ugliest of things, because the house, they were renovating the house when we bought it, when we found it.
It was mustard yellow,
and the house was hideous. It looked like a haunted house. It was
set
horrible.
up in the woods. It was beautiful.
But she seen the house and she was like, "I want that house right there." And my response was, "You want that?" And lo and behold, it ended up being the house that we actually fell in love with.
What they got to do with this
But
stuff?
what I'm getting at is there's always beauty behind the worst, what seems to be the worst of things. There can be something beautiful behind the worst, something that could be pretty much ugly and horrible in your life. That you can find something good in something. That whenever it's going on in your life. I find many ways that when you're experiencing your flare-ups and stuff,
what?
When you're experiencing a flare-up or whatever, I find ways to find the good in something that you're experiencing at the time, even though you don't feel like it.
I'm finna say I don't feel good when I'm having a flare.
I know, but to me, you still look beautiful. Even though you don't feel like you are. So I tell you that you're beautiful. I tell you that I love you. I tell you that you're gorgeous. And I think, you have got to tell your spouse.
Hi, I can't pronounce it.
You got to tell your spouse these things when they're going through stuff. You got to tell your spouse that they're beautiful. Tell them that they're handsome. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that whatever we are experiencing, because they're not experiencing, because you're not experiencing by yourself, that y'all are experiencing it together, that we're going to get through this together. And when we do, we're going to look back on this and say, wow, we made it. We made it through it.
We made it together. The toughest thing that I always see is when I'm putting him through something, because not only do I have physical pains and ailments, when I am in a lot of pain, I'm mean. So not only does he have to deal with me not being able to walk back and forth, and I'm asking him to do things for me or to help me do things, or even if I'm not asking him to do anything for me and I'm determined I'm going to do this myself. That's how I'm determined to do it. I am mean. He might ask me, babe, you need me to get you anything? I'm like, I bark, no. And it's because I've always been so independent, and I've always relied on myself to do things so much till when I can't do, and I know that he is right there. And I know that he wants to do things to help me. It makes me feel helpless. It makes me feel sometimes hopeless. And the pain gets so bad sometimes till I just cry. And I pray that the pain stops. But, and I don't want to be a burden to him.
You're never a burden.
And it gets bad sometimes. And
you're never a burden. And the only reason why I asked, do you want me to do this or let me do this for you, is because I don't mind serving you.
I'm strong.
I know you're strong. But
I want to be strong.
I'm a listen. Men, ladies, serve your spouse. Serve them when the times are good. Serve them when the times are bad. You continue to serve your spouse with every ounce of energy that you have in your body. You serve your spouse. I look for ways to serve my wife.
It's not I hate it when you say serve. But when you
I don't want to say take care of.
But that's what you're doing, though. You're there to help, and you don't mind it. And I know that you don't. But when I think about you getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you get up and you go to work, and then you work all day, and you don't get home until after 5 o'clock in the evening, and you're tired. And I feel so bad when I don't be able to get up and fix dinner or have dinner ready for you. I always keep the house clean. I manage to move around enough to get the house clean. But I don't always get dinner cooked. And you'll come right on in without complaining. And you'll
cook. What is there to complain about?
Because I know that you be tired. I know you be tired. And that bothers me. Because I feel like I already, especially with COVID-19, I cannot work. But before COVID-19 even happened, me standing up taking care of a client hurt so bad. If I took 2 clients on one day, it was like complete torture for me. But I wanted to. I was determined to do my part to help bringing money into the house. And then, with COVID-19, it's like all of a sudden, instantly, you cannot work because you cannot put yourself at risk. You have kidney disease, you have arthritis, you've got lupus, you got all this stuff that could possibly end you in the hospital or in the grave. That if something happens, you could be gone just like that. And it's not enough that the COVID-19 does that, but it's like just having lupus and SLE, the type of lupus I have, they try to scare me by just saying, oh, it could attack your heart and you could just drop dead. I'm like, what? I just did 6 miles the other day. What you talking about? So, I mean, to have all this and then to have him working so many hours and then coming home and having to take care of me. And I know that I'm always laughing and playing and acting silly when we're talking about stuff. But I have to make light of things sometimes because sometimes things get really, really heavy.
Yeah. Mama Cindy says she can relate to what you're saying. That she can relate to that too. But, guys, listen. You said I do. At least some of us have. And if you
I do forever.
If you and that's the thing that when you say I do, it should be forever. And regardless of what y'all are experiencing together, whose health might be getting bad, whatever is happening, you are experiencing life together.
Together.
The good and the bad. Everybody can't ride on the mountaintop all the time.
Not all the time. It just don't work like that. We all go through things.
Yeah, we do. So when I love to cook anyway. So if I work 12, 13 hours a day and I come home and you haven't cooked, I'm fine with coming home and cooking. I don't care. Or if the floor needs to be vacuumed when I come in, I'll vacuum the floor sometimes.
I mean, I'm giving you the side eye over there because you ain't finna vacuum and do no laundry if you don't have to. But you don't mind cooking, but all that other stuff.
Yeah, but
Yeah, if it take you a whole week to fold up a basket of clothes.
If I do the laundry, I'm doing I'm gonna fold up clothes up.
No, I'm just saying that's how you feel. If I'm doing the laundry, like I could take a whole week and you won't care.
Yeah. So stuff, it'll get done eventually.
It will.
But the point I'm making is that you experiencing, you got your health issues. I have my health issues. Some of y'all might have health issues, and
be patient with your loved
ones.
Be
patient with somebody's got to be patient with you. So you be patient with your spouse.
The hardest thing that I could possibly imagine to happen, and I'm not gonna cry no more. But the hardest thing and the worst thing that I could possibly imagine to happen is if something happened to me and he said he can't do it no more. If he was just throw his hands up and be like, I'm done. We've been going through this since you were 30. In your early 30s, you walked on with a cane and gaining weight, losing weight, and now you can't walk at all or whatever. I can still walk, y'all. But I do have a hard time getting around. But the whole thing is, if he was to just come to me and be like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And people have done that.
I wouldn't do that.
To think of a man doing, or even a woman doing it to her husband in their worst times when they really need you, and you promise to love them forever and never leave them. Oh, I could not.
It would crush me to do that.
I could not imagine.
It would crush me to know that I crushed you, doing that. And no. That's why I don't see how people actually do that. They would do that to their spouse. They just...
what's going through my head, right?
I have no earthly idea what's going through your head. What?
You couldn't do it now.
Yeah. I kind of figured that's where you were going. I didn't want to say it.
Yeah. You couldn't do it now.
No, I couldn't do it now. I actually have a heart. And
now. Because you didn't have one back then.
You know?
Oh, heartless thing, you.
But I love you, and the thought of hurting you like that, it hurts me to even think that. And just to think about life without you, no. Because, you know, even at your worst, can't nobody do me like Rhonda do me.
Yeah.
No, but I'm serious though. I'm serious. No other person will be able to put up with me the way that you put up with me.
Yeah.
Because I know I can be a handful.
Yeah.
And I know nobody else could do that. And vice versa. My wife, she go through those mood swings, and I'm used to them.
Nobody could deal with my.
And I'm fine with the mood swings. They don't faze me at all. I just look at them like, okay, it'll be over with in a minute. You know.
I know me and Leandra was out today, and and she's laughing. She laughs at me now because I used to didn't do stuff like this, and I don't know what comes over me. Like people will cut us off or whatever. I don't say vulgar things. But, I mean, if you cut me off, or if I look at you and I speak, and you look me in my eyes and you don't speak, I get an attitude, and I be like, oh, I know you saw me, you heard me, and it's bad, and I have to apologize so much. But the whole thing in the car, you are in a whole nother car, and you done did something, and you can't hear me even if I said something, but boy, you can see these eyes, I be like, you... And she was like, Mama, for real? And she just bust out laughing. She's like, lady, you are funny. I was like, what? And then she said, they can't even hear you, but you need to stop doing that, be looking at people like that. And it's just, you know, I don't know if it's old age or illness.
No.
Bad attitude.
Guys, listen, just like we were saying earlier, you know, when you say your wedding vows, if you can make it last, make it last. It is to, you know, sickness and in health. You know.
Sickness and in health. And no matter how sick you are, everybody can get healed.
That's right.
From anything.
Everybody can get healed.
Even this.
And even this.
Even this. God can do anything.
And the key is to be patient with your spouse. You guys are experiencing life together. You know, when you're sharing your life with someone else, the good and the bad. And because you're sharing your life with them, you know, they're just things you just gotta deal with. You know, roll with the punches. It's part of life.
And no amount of lupus is going to run this man away.
Nope.
No amount of bad attitude. He is here to stay.
No. Because believe it or not, even her mood swings, she's a lot better with her mood swings than she was before, you know, like when she was in her 20s and 30s.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's why your mood swings are so easy for me to deal with. Because, man, you was something back then.
I just didn't care back then. I mean, you would do stuff and I was going to get you back and I didn't care who saw it.
But I'm just saying, you know.
I am a toy. God has worked on me. Lord, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, He
has done a work on me.
Lord Jesus, you was a piece of work, man.
He is so good. Thank you, Jesus. I am so serious. God is so good. God is good.
Yeah, He is.
Taking care of my health and my attitude.
Uh-huh.
Ooh. And keeping you sane through it all.
Man, keeping me sane through it all.
God is good.
Won't He do it?
Yes, He will. Yes, He will.
But guys, it has been, we've been on for probably about, let's say, 35 minutes. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. We really wanted to come on just to, number one, apologize for not being able to go on live last week. But
but before we go off, we was talking about the reason.
We hope that you understand the reason why, because we explained the reason why early in the video.
And we're going to do it again real quick. The medications that I was put on last week was a prednisone for the swelling, to help the swelling goes down, which had me feeling crazy. And did you know that prednisone makes you want to eat? I mean, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to go to sleep, and my stomach was waking up. I'm like, get up and eat. So I'm just like, and I could not go back to sleep until I got up and ate something. And along with that, I had some really strong narcotics that they had to put me on in order to get the pain. And
get the pain under control.
They have tried several different kinds of pain medications to help get the pain under control. And the one thing she kept telling me was, when she gave me this particular one, is that you're going to go to sleep. You're going to go to sleep. You might get a little loopy before you go to sleep, but you're going to go to sleep. So the thing is that even though I am silly most of the time anyway,
yeah, she gets over silly.
Yeah, because it's getting ready.
It's
about to kick in now.
She's something. Yeah.
So after it kicks in, I'll go to sleep.
Yeah. So guys, thank you for being patient with us, and thank you for always being here with us. We couldn't do this without you.
We love you guys and all the support that you give us. And if there's any subjects that you want to talk about, because believe it or not, in our 30 years of marriage, we have been through so much. And people always ask us, how do we get to where we are? But nobody ever asks us any real questions. And we're open book. We are willing to answer. So you can
ask us any question that
nothing is too private.
No.
It's just not, because
we'll openly share with you guys whatever you guys want to know.
Right. People want to know how we deal with stuff. And the one thing again was the people always ask that, but they were like, okay, if you can't contribute any of it to God, the thing is that you cannot not include God in it.
Right.
Because
I was actually asked that question.
Without God, it wouldn't be no us. It would definitely not be.
I was asked that question years ago by a very good friend now, and the question was, don't give me the holy roller, the God answer, but what made you want to get back with your wife when we were separated? And I paused for a moment, and after I paused, it wasn't really to think about it. I said, because I wanted to be with my wife, and that was it, and he said
he had to go through it,
and he said, thank you for not giving me the Christian spiel about the reason why you wanted to for your family to be together. And I was like, okay, thank you, but then I proceeded that with God, but I had to go through a transformation. I had to be changed, and God did the change.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But guys, we appreciate you guys. We love y'all. Thank you so much for following and liking the page and putting up with us sometimes. But we really felt that we had to come and tell you guys the reason why we did not go live last week, and to share with you guys what's going on with us. Because a lot of people, they message us or they see a photo of us, but they really don't know what's going on with us.
Yeah.
And we promised you guys that we would keep y'all in the loop with everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly that goes on with us. So we're
trying to change the way we eat too. Can we talk about that real quick? No.
The way we eat?
We trying to change the way he eats, because he likes to eat what he wants to eat, and I'm trying to get on a natural kick so that my body can get on whack and stop swelling so much. So right now, the main thing that I've changed, and he gets it too because he can't taste it, is we're trying. And Dob, if you're listening, he was the one that hit me on to it, is the CMOS gel. And so far, I like it.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see how it works.
We'll keep you guys posted to that. Mama Cindy, we love you guys too.
We love all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
guys
guys
for joining in.
Y'all have a great evening.
Miss T and Henry. Sorry, I can't pronounce that, but Miss Tien.
Guys, y'all have a good evening.
Y'all have a great evening.
We finna get off and go run an errand real quick and come back in the house and relax, and then get ready to start the day tomorrow again. So we will see you guys. We more than likely we will be going live next Tuesday again. So we'll see you guys next Tuesday if you don't see us before. We love you guys. You guys have a great evening. Okay, y'all be good. Bye.
Bye.
If I can reach the button.
Yeah. These
I can't reach
this
the
medicine,
button.
honey. got me feeling right now.
Y'all get to see me up close and personal. How about that?
Rose. Don't break my rose.